Want to bet? You can do it at Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook. Football is back, baseball playoffs on the way, and hockey season around the corner. Bet pregame, live and play, or on one of the many prop bets. It's made for Canadians.
Did you have the Steelers yesterday?
Woo. I honestly, I missed my picks yesterday. I'm embarrassed. I know, and I should have.
How could you?
Because I can't. I have this rule. I don't. Everybody has the rules. My rule is I don't bet against the teams I cheer for. I don't bet against them.
They won.
Exactly.
Terrible towel, more like terrible Adam.
Made for Canadians by Canadians. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all that sports betting has to offer. Head to sportsinteraction.com/STPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/STPN. Ontario only, 18 plus. Please play responsibly. You woke up this morning to a brand new captain, the 31st in team history of the Montreal Canadiens.
A lifelong Leaf fan is now the captain
you
of
had
the
to do
Montreal
that.
Canadiens. He is. Less than a decade ago, he was cheering for the Leafs against the Bruins. In 2013, go Leafs, go. And then they lost. That's when he was like, you know what? I'm going to captain the Habs instead.
I love so there's the headline, and then I guess it's not the byline, but what's the sub-headline called?
The lead?
I don't know. It's anyway.
I don't know.
Basically, it says 23-year-old center replaces Weber after defenseman was traded to Golden Knights. And I forgot that Weber's contract had been dealt to the Golden Knights.
Oh, my God. How are those teams... What is it with the Habs and like being so intertwined with expansion teams?
That's a good point.
Because there's Vegas, and then there will forever be Mark Bergevin's shenanigans with the Kraken.
Yes.
Which... How did he get away with that? How did he get away with it?
You know, Nick Suzuki deleted the tweet where he says, go Leafs go.
No. Way.
No, good. He should have.
Stand by your words, coward.
There's, who is it? SB Nation, Pension Plan Puppets, they did an article way back when on Leafs fan Nick Suzuki. And then they had embedded his tweet from 2013, October, when he was cheering for the Leafs. And he said, Toronto versus Montreal, go Leafs go, hashtag Leafs Nation. And when you click the tweet, the tweet does not exist anymore.
You know,
so somebody in his camp, because he's on the Canadiens now, and people would have made fun of this, they made him delete it.
but people are like, you Leaf fan, like he was like 14, I think.
Yeah, 2013.
like that's a child. You're laughing at a child, like
for liking his favorite team. Come on,
I think it's okay, guys.
Oh,
I think it's
So
okay.
there's a tweet out there. The Golden Knights have existed for 5 years, and in that time, they've had 3 Montreal Canadiens captains.
So I was trying to play this game.
So Weber, Pacioretty, and
Weber. I had Pacioretty, Suzuki,
oh well, yeah, idiot.
and
I was like,
Weber.
who's the third?
Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot. I forgot about Weber.
Now, I do want to ask this, okay? And I think this is a fair question. Montreal Canadiens fans love this guy. The organization loves this guy. His new contract, I believe, kicks in this year. It was signed last year, if I'm not mistaken. But
I think you're right.
He's got a big extension coming, and I want. He's 23 years old. Now, I understand that this man is mature.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that he's a very good hockey player.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have, in some hockey circles, some say he's going to be an elite caliber center.
Mm-hmm.
Some others say he'll be a pretty good 1A option. But, another pretty good 1A option who captained the Habs for years, and they were very, very good, is Saku Koivu. And you could call him a quote-unquote 1A option. I know Canadiens fans would hate that, but he wasn't like...
That's not...
It's not fair to him.
That's not bad, Adam.
Yeah, right?
No, it's not bad.
So the one thing I do want to say is we know from being in Toronto how vicious media can be. Montreal Canadiens media, because so much of it's in French, gets missed by us.
Yes.
We do not, and I want to really drive this point home. There is no comparable to some of the things that happen in Montreal Canadiens media. Steve, can you give us some examples of what it's like to be a Canadian player, a Canadiens player on the Francophone side?
I mean, it's very tabloidy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want the perspective of a French player?
Yeah,
or
if you're just
what?
a player, but the French language media treats it differently.
It's very tabloidy, very gossipy, a lot of personal life stuff. There was that blog a few years ago that was taking pictures of people in their hotel room.
That's 25 Stanley, right?
I think so, and it was Stamkos, and they were, they were fully clothed and looking at the camera and everything, and it's still weird. they'll talk about your potential drug problems. They'll talk about rather unsubstantiated rumors they've heard about you and your personal life and significant other. And
they also don't mind having guests on that have questionable responses to things like mental health issues.
Yeah, like we like what are some of the notorious stories around the Leafs over the past few years? There's the hot dog stand thing. There's calling Reimer's mother to ask about his injury.
Yeah.
There's Matthew's COVID diagnosis before the bubble, and stuff like that. I just feel like that's maybe a once a month or once every 2 month story,
right?
In on Montreal French shows,
right? It's just a little bit different. And so I have to ask the question,
and that's not to say they're all like evil.
No,
or whatever.
Oh my God! But it's just there is that element that doesn't maybe exist the same way.
Yeah, and we miss it.
We do.
Miss it because I only took French to grade 10 and I did poorly.
And I want to say this. This is a player that had 61 points last year, performed very well under a bad coach and then a good coach.
In a off season, or like in a down season.
He's in 3 years, he's a career minus 49.
Fart.
Never scored 50 goals, hasn't scored 50 goals in his career yet.
Yeah.
Has 143 total points. Pretty good for 3 years.
Sure is, especially at his age.
Can we ask the question, is this the right time for a 23-year-old? And is Brendan Gallagher, like, I was surprised that it was not Brendan Gallagher.
Well, so to me, the first question I asked was, why not Brendan Gallagher? And I thought about it long enough and I got my answer. So what are we excited about with the Montreal Canadiens? We talked about this last show.
The future.
So we're excited about, they got some guys in the back end.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited about Nick Suzuki. Mm-hmm. We're excited about Cole Caulfield. We're excited about Kirby Dach. We're excited about Juraj Slafkovsky.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited about the other Slovak guy they drafted in the first round. I can't remember his name.
Mm-hmm.
Who Slafkovsky was.
Yeah.
And by the way, who captured that video? Game Over's Mark Dumont.
No way.
Yes, he did.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, he did. That video of Juraj Slafkovsky figuring out that his Slovakian teammate was drafted to the Montreal Canadiens. Mm-hmm. That was Mark Dumont. We're excited about the future. With all due respect to Brendan Gallagher, he's not the future. He can be a part of it.
He's got a gigantic extension.
You forgot to mention Jan Misak.
Jan Misak?
Why should we mention him?
Because he's a noted Alan Walsh client.
Thank you.
And I am a huge fan of doing bits, but also, like, he's really good.
We got to get t-shirts. We got to get t-shirts for that. I am a noted Alan Walsh
client. And then we have to get them to the client.
Yes. Yeah. But also, like, you could have one in the store and be like, and you too could be a noted Alan Walsh client.
Can I have a dozen of
Absolutely.
those?
Absolutely.
That's such a good idea. We'll do it. Such a good idea.
It'll be on sale by Friday.
There you go.
Need it. I need it more than I need to breathe. So that's amazing. Amazing. And wasn't he at our event?
Yes, he was.
Yes,
he was at our event in Montreal. They casually just showed up. It's amazing.
Hey, anyway, Brendan Gallagher will be a part of that future.
Mm-hmm. But a big part of it. He's still got 5 years left.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. But like, how many old guys are on that team still? Like, how many of the old guard?
Almost none.
Weber's gone. Pacioretty's gone. Subban's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Gallagher is still there. Petrie's gone.
Mm-hmm. If Carey Price doesn't come back, which it doesn't mean it look like he will.
That's gone. A tough one. Like, how often is he going to be around the team?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And
Carl Alsner's contract still kicking around for a couple more years.
Oh my God. But I think what you potentially risk sometimes, and I can't believe I'm saying this about Brendan Gallagher, who is younger than me, I believe. There's an element.
He's 4 years younger than you. He's Jesse's age.
There's disgusting. There's the potential for, like, let's say the Habs are shit in the bed, and Brendan Gallagher gets up. There's the potential for old man yells at cloud.
Yep.
To a locker room full of, Suzuki's not even really in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
Like early 20 guys. He is the leader of the future.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of games played he already has, and his performances in the Stanley Cup playoffs dating all the way back to the bubble. He's the leader of the future. It's the right pick, and it sucks for Brendan Gallagher because he seemed like the heir apparent for Shea Weber. But the fortunes of the Montreal Canadiens took a real aggressive turn last year, and there was a quote from Nick Suzuki and a quote from Joel Edmondson that got dunked on this morning, where they're talking about competing for the playoffs.
I think they'll compete for the playoffs.
All 32 teams should be saying that.
Yes.
It's September.
First of all, they should all be saying that. Second of all, you can forgive the Montreal Canadiens, who made the Stanley Cup final 2 years ago, for thinking that last year was a blip. There's a lot of reasons to think they should at least be in the mix.
I think they will.
The Atlantic's ridiculous. But
Also, what do you want them to say? Oh, no, we're not going to try and compete for the playoffs.
everything that could have gone
New captain
wrong
won't happen.
went wrong. Everything that could have went wrong.
Yeah.
And then Martin St. Louis came in and they were better.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
Half the team's not going to be on COVID protocol.
And what was important too when St. Louis came on is the players who play or who have high skill started playing like it.
Yes, and also
like the turnaround in Cole Caulfield is unbelievable.
It ticked off so many rebuild boxes. Like, okay, we're still losing games, but Cole Caulfield had 2 goals.
Bingo. Yes.
So I really like that.
Guy who should score is scoring.
They're going to score this year.
They
I
are.
think.
Yeah. Their defense is it's interesting. You've got Michael Matheson. I forgot he was there. Then Joel Edmondson, David Savard.
Edmondson's a guy who they didn't have last year, basically.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it looks steady enough, and I think they're working on an extension for Jake Allen. Hasn't been signed yet.
Yeah, and they have Caden Primo on one of those trendy goalie contracts. That's
they also have
low money long term.
They have Montembeault as well.
Sam Montembeault, who was actually fine for them after dealing with his injury.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, they're not going to finish last.
Right.
I'll give you that.